Hi, this is Shenshbu Weaver, and we're going to go into our next Cobra Qigong lesson. So, like I said, if you're looking for this for the fight or you're looking for the health, it doesn't matter to me. I think you're going to, in the end, think about both. And so in the last lesson, we talked about this single cobra in our center, okay? Before that, we talked about our center. We talked about how the cobra arises. Now, in this lesson, I want to talk about cobras in our body come in pairs, okay? And that pair, you can think of is, explain a little more here in a second, but just think of there are two, okay? So now this one has a strike and a presentation. Strike, return, presentation, right? But it works together with another one, okay? Because the strike here pushes off and brings the next in. So these two, the energy of one flows into the other. Now, it's one united energy, but the focus goes from one to the other, okay? So as one, if you think of this one like the hood, right? He's hooding. That hood creates the strike of the other. And I muscle a little bit to overemphasize that. You actually shouldn't see the muscle at all in this. So what you'll see is the softness, okay? There's muscle in there, but it's used so subtly that it should be hard to see when done properly, okay? It won't look like much. So this kind of comes the hard part. Now this is an analogy I like to use here. This is called inside of the circle cobra. We actually have another one called outside of the circle cobra. We'll do that much later. Maybe not much later, but later. Inside of the circle, I like to think of this as there was a little kid's toy called a spirograph. Maybe you remember it. And in the spirograph, it was like a gear, and you took another gear and you stuck it inside, and you stuck a pencil in there, right? And you follow the gear around, okay? And it would draw these crazy, funny patterns. And they were pretty, right? Kind of cool little toy. I was like that when I was a kid. And so if you think about the circle here, these are both moving as if they're both gears within that circle. They're never moving outside of the circle. Now, mind you, the circle moves with me, right? Remember, our center moves with us, okay? But if you keep visualizing this circle here, these are always moving within it. I may move my body, right, and change directions, but these are always moving within that circle, okay? So, again, here's the trick. Your mind truly can only think about one thing at a time, okay? And what it tends to go is oh, I got a right hand and I got a left hand, and oh yeah, I forgot about that one, and there's a right one and a left one, and I forgot about that one again. Oh shoot, I forgot about that one. And it tends to do this crazy thing, okay? I know, I've taught this for a lot of years, and I know everybody, their mind, you can see it doing that, okay? Because it's incapable of thinking about two things, okay? That's in my opinion. And I study the mind a lot, so I think I'm right. I can only think about one thing. So how do we do this? We got two things moving, okay? Think about the relationship between them, or think about the point that you're hitting, or think about the space. Any of those things are helpful, and you can switch back and forth. So if you think about one that is really helpful, is imagine a rubber band between my wrists. And what I'm going to do is I'm thinking about the rubber band. That's one thing, right? Or I can think about the space. That's one thing. Or I can think about my opponent that I'm hitting. That's one thing. My mind is capable of doing that. It's not capable of thinking about many things at once. And yours probably isn't either. although I think my wife's is, but that's aside from the point. So that's what you want to do. If this is actually is required, no matter what you want this for, to be a mindfulness exercise, okay? Because you have to get your mind focused, softly focused, on one thing, whether that's the rubber band, the point, or the circle. So here we go with our motion again. We can create this nice and big, okay? We can go a little small. I recommend for right now, you keep this big, okay? And that's our lesson for today. If you like it, you like what we're doing, you'd like to see us keep doing this, I appreciate. Go over to our Patreon page, or maybe you're there now, subscribe, and support. And you know, if we get a lot of support, I'm going to do some really cool stuff. This is just the start. So go over there and help us out. Thank you.